Good evening and welcome back to Jones & Company. I'm your host, Brian Jones, and this second segment is also brought to you by our WAC-X and Agio Digital. So thank you for sticking with us. And obviously today our guest is none other than Mr. Darcy Rhaming, Jr., and he is the CTO at our WAC-X, co-founder as well, and we've been having a wonderful conversation. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, and just before we broke for that break there, you're touching on the fact that the economy is still reeling from the effects of COVID, even though we hadn't even managed to recover from Dorian as well.
There's COVID, there's Dorian, there was, we hadn't recovered from the 2008 financial crisis.
Precisely.
You know, it's, I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but things haven't grown. They haven't grown because, frankly, the people with the ideas haven't gotten the capital. There's a lot of really smart people. I mean, our generation, I think it's like 1 in 3 has some sort of secondary or tertiary education. There are more doctors and accountants and financial people and engineers than you could shake a stick at. Our families are full of them. So what is it that is, what was missing, right? What was missing was capital.
Yes.
Capital to take those ideas, to put them into structure, and then to go out and try and do international business, because the money is internationally, not locally.
Yes.
So.
And this is, I mean, I think this is an obvious problem, more than a problem, a huge gap, right, in our economy. And as a matter of fact, the government even attempted to address it, and
Successive governments.
Governments.
There are good people trying to work on this problem. So
absolutely.
This is going to take us, the business, the entrepreneurs, us, the financial institutions, and us, the government, to solve this.
Yes.
Together. There's no one group that can solve this. This is all of our lives.
Precisely. So on that point, how are you working with industry stakeholders to basically get more traction in this space?
So we signed an MOU with the Bahamas Development Bank. And one of the things that we're looking to do with them is to do debt equity kind of products. So banks are really good at doing collateralized stuff. You know, like they can pay for a building, they can pay for plant and equipment, they can pay for inventory. That's really good. Accountants are really comfortable with that. They can put that nicely on their balance sheet, et cetera. What they're not good at is the soft costs. So when you need money for labor, you need money for marketing, you need money for technology, you know, because nobody really knows what technology does. Well, you can raise that from the crowd. And so what we've been working with is how do we kind of break up the funding that a company kind of needs into those various kind of components, and then different institutions would kind of lend their support where they can. So because we need to get all of these companies across the line. Right. And so that's kind of one example of how we're working with stakeholders to bring something.
Right. And money isn't the only thing that these companies need, right? No. You mentioned that you have the Team Magic formula. What other value are you bringing to the table to help these companies see their dreams?
So we are helping them with our networks. So there's a lot of really prominent people that are working at the exchange. I'm just the young face. I'm the young one, but most of the execs are in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and so they have networks. And so when an entrepreneur comes to us and says, "Hey," or we identify that they're lacking in an area, we can say, "Hey, this guy over here, you really need someone to help you with government liaison. This guy over here just retired from government. He's perfect for you. He's a perfect advisor." And so they can have that relationship, because really what the young people have is energy, ideas, tenacity, and what the older generations have is networks. Our networks are being developed, but really a network is, I've known this guy for 25 years. When I call him, he'll pick up the phone. I can't do that. I'm 31. I'm like a baby compared to a business baby, I should say. But you know what I'm saying? It's so the right team has that mixture of all of the generations, all of the different types of energy, all working towards making the goal, the business mission of that thing successful. And so that's kind of where we help.
Understood, understood. So talk to us a bit about your organizational structure. How is the team set up? And how do you guys work?
Okay, so Arawak there's the business equities department.
Okay.
So a business would come in, they would come to Chief of Equities Winston Roll, his team, and they would be walked through, prepared to go on the company itself. Then you have the marketing aspect. So there's a whole marketing department at Arawak. I'm sure you know, and many people know, we're pretty good at marketing. That's our management consulting stuff. We were very good at that personally, and now we're very good at that at the exchange level. Then there's it is kind of marketing. It's still customer relations, so we call that our community. So we have a chief of community, Mr. Ken Donathan.
Right.
So making sure that, people, that you give good customer service, even though this is a technology platform, technology and technological doesn't mean non-human. So you can't just, please only reply to this email. People don't want to hear that, especially when you're dealing with their money, right? They want to be able to find someone and, frankly, when you mess up, scream at them. I've had my fair share of those while we're doing this. Like I say, we're working on it. I don't pretend to be perfect, and I don't pretend my organization to be perfect. Just hold our feet to the fire, and we'll do better. So that's that department. And then, of course, there's technology, which is my primary expertise.
Right.
I'm a what's called a control engineer, which is a hybrid between a mechanical, electrical, and computer science engineer. So a lot of different skills, multidisciplinary engineering. So the technology makes it look easy, but you really need all of the human elements of your business working with technology as the tool and the distribution tool to make it work.
Well, since technology is your wheelhouse, speak to us about your tech stack, right? How did you build it up, and what?
So we're going to get a little technical with this meeting.
Let's
but
do
this
it.
is cool. It's so basically, so you have you access it through Arawak on the phone. So that's your internet layer for people at home. Then there's all of that wonderful back-end internet stuff. We actually have engineers in Silicon Valley and in India that support and maintain and built it.
Okay.
Very, very specialized types of engineers, especially when you get into technology architects and all kinds of things. You really shouldn't be monkeying with this kind of business if you don't understand that stuff.
Right.
But basically that's the tech staff. When you see people on island here, they're doing support. They're helping to manage that process. Most of we're a completely 21st century company. We can work our company remotely, which is why we were able to still operate even through these various phases of this pandemic, which, by the way, I hope is over, but who knows. But you have to build your business in that way so that at a moment's notice you can keep operating. That's a business risk in this environment.
Yes, businesses born during COVID had to be born very nimble and agile.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And so it's a competitive advantage too. So we're here, we want to compete, we want to tell our story, of course. We're doing it not just for the money. We understand that as entrepreneurs ourselves, if you can't get the financing, you can't do anything.
Indeed.
And it's so many businesses die trying to shoestring it.
Right.
Because growth is expensive.
It is.
And it's so it's the only way our society is going to grow is if the businesses in our society grow.
Indeed.
And which means there's a lot of opportunity for people that want to start them, people that want to be executives in them, people that want to work for them. But we can't kill them before they grow. It's like it's the Bob Marley song, right?
Yes.
You want to kill it before it grow.
Exactly.
So you can't kill them before they grow.
Exactly. So I want to talk a little bit about your community and how you're engaging them, right? And what is the level of appetite we're seeing for the offerings you have?
So we have 7,000 people signed up to date.
Okay.
7,000 individual users of all kinds and of all walks of life. Investing is one of those things that we all do at some point in our lives to some extent. Now it's different. People treat their money differently. That's why you have different types of financial products that are designed for different types of investors at different times in their lives. So now that I've gotten all that out of the way, we talk to them.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about your community, is you just engage your community. You say, hey, what is it that you want? What is your needs? And then you try and find products. So the crowdfunding is an equity risk, higher risk product, but the mechanism for distribution is kind of what is there, and we're working on some other products to come out in the near term. I'm not at liberty to say it just yet, but it's coming.
Understood. See, okay, so I'm trying to get a sense of how engaged your community is. Out of the 7,000 that have registered, how many have actually pulled the trigger and invested in one of your companies
About
so far?
1,500.
1,500, okay.
Yeah.
It's a decent number.
Yeah, it's pretty decent, and and like I said, it's across all things. A lot of people have just said, keep coming out with the companies. Those ones weren't my style, which is I get, because
It's a matter of preference.
It always is. Investing is it's your money. You worked really, really hard for that money.
Right.
Who am I to tell you where to put that money, right?
Right.
We're just a mechanism for you to participate in the companies of your choice. And so as we get more companies out, as we get more issuances out, you're going to see more people engaged, because now they have a vehicle that's really, really super simple. It only takes 7 minutes to sign up.
Right.
It's free to sign up. That doesn't mean that the product is free. We make our money off of the companies that are successful. And so it's, we make money when everybody makes money. So we're trying to align our business model up with, the adding value. Everybody hates fees. So you have to make sure you charge a fee when you add value, right?
Indeed,
People get that.
Indeed, yes. And you have to earn your fees.
That's right. That's right. I don't think anybody's mad when you earn
Right.
when you earned it.
So in terms of milestones going forward, what would spell success for our WACAX?
So this year, I can tell you what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to about 60 companies in the next 9 months.
Okay, it's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, we have 12 lined up that we'll do over the next 2 months.
Okay.
We're just, tightening the last couple things. We've had to do some regulatory work and do some other things. This, by the way, one of the reasons why you're seeing this such kind of not slow rollout, but what's going on in the background is that our financial system is actually not designed to do what we're doing. So we're pushing a lot of systems to their max, and we're having to work with our partner institutions to make it more efficient, and so that takes time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have these 12 companies in the pipeline you're looking at over the next couple of months, and so the remaining roughly 48 over the course of the year.
We have hundreds of companies contact us a month.
Right.
So those are 12 that are appropriate for this type of financing.
Understood.
So
and so these are all Bahamian companies? No. Okay, so speak to me a bit about that then. So there'll be opportunity to invest in international companies as well.
So what's happening in the world, step back, macro, very macro.
Okay.
COVID shook up the world. People realized that they could work remotely. This whole Ukraine thing, shaking up the world, realizing that, basically the world is changing rapidly around us. I know we don't feel it because we've kind of walled ourselves off from the world, for better or for worse, but the world, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a reason that there's all this construction going on in the town, because people are they're clamoring to get here. They're clamoring to set their businesses up here, but in order for them to really move here, they need financing. People move to where the money is at, right? That's why New York, London, even Miami, Silicon Valley, those are big financial centers. Singapore, Hong Kong. So if we are trying to make the jump into being the next financial center, like, I mean, we are an offshore jurisdiction, but we're trying to move it to a nearshore financial jurisdiction. And to do that, as we do that, companies are attracted to come here. And, you know, like I say, the beautiful thing about crowdfunding, the beautiful thing about this is that we've inverted the structure in the sense that now we can participate at the ownership level of all the companies. So it's not just the company comes here and we get a job. Company gets here, yes, we get jobs, yes, we get management, and yes, we have ownership.
Right.
And so it really becomes a meaningful, it's not, like I say, it's changing the dynamic. Our relationship to these companies becomes more, frankly, more equitable, more just.
Understood. Okay, so as a crowdfunding platform, you're a securities marketplace. And as a matter of fact, you're a stock exchange.
Stock exchange
right?
and a clearing facility.
And a clearing facility.
Which
right?
is a CSD.
Exactly. So in that capacity, you're ultimately a SRO,
Yes.
right? And so that's a self-regulatory organization, right? And so in terms of rule making, rule setting, and your overall set of rules for your marketplace and for your participants, talk to me a little bit about those. What's your philosophy behind rule setting?
My philosophy is the same as my business philosophy, in that we reach out to the community. So our community of investors tell us what it is that they need. So we have a very, we take our relationship with our investors very, very seriously, because they will tell you what they need. And what a rule set is just the market saying, hey, we need this. And when we have this, we can do our businesses better. And so if you look at it from that perspective, a rule set isn't just, you know, all these rules, we need them to, you know, they're keeping us in line with these rules. These rules are rules of the game so we can all get together and play basketball. You know, the market is saying, hey, we want to play hockey, no sense having basketball rules, and then you're looking around wondering why the guys can't play hockey. So listen to the market. The market will tell you, hey, we want to get together and have a hockey match.
Right.
Okay, so now we need hockey rules. And the beautiful thing about financial services around the world, even though we're a small jurisdiction, we have access through the internet to everybody else's rule sets that as they're working and grinding these things, so we can take best practices and just immediately adopt them. You know, obviously we've done some really innovative stuff here, by the way. When I say innovative,
like
I mean as a jurisdiction, like the DARE Act.
Of course.
Is super innovative.
Yes.
So like hats off to them for that.
Yes.
You know, it's but that's that approach of keeping your ear open to what the community wants.
Sure. So I mean, yeah, we are known for innovation, and of course, we can be innovative with our rulemaking as well, right? But in practical terms, tell me something. Like, what are some of the do's and don'ts, right, for some of your the companies coming onto your platform?
So obviously, we exist in a very transparent environment.
Yes.
So you know, it's important. This is the difference between public companies and private companies, because they're basically public light companies. Yes. Your business is going to be out in the open, which means that you have to act accordingly, like your business is going to be out in the open. In a private company, you can do what you want. You know, you can. There's some really bad public practices, so I don't want to. I'm not condoning it, but you have the ability to do what you want because it's your company.
Right.
In the public light, you don't get to do what you want. Now, what the exchange is that you get as much money as you could justifiably use. So that's your trade-off. Do you want the capital to grow your business? Okay, then come down this way. But people are going to see and know and understand what you're doing. Now, the trick, and this is what the Americans are good at, is you just have so much money that by the time your competitors catch up, you're over here. And by the time they catch up, you're over there. And so you can use the public to get ahead. So you get to a certain point, you get to the public, and then you run and you never stop running.
Right.
That's what the purpose of this
And
is,
you
as a
learn-
tool for businesses.
Right. And you learn as you go, right?
Wow.
That's what entrepreneurship is.
Yeah.
To a large extent, you have to pivot and run with the punches. But I see, it is a boost to be able to get an acceleration from the crowd, right? And that's why it's been such a powerful tool thus far, and I guess it's got a lot of attention, right? So you have 7,000 strong in your community, and so in terms of future community engagement, when you say you talk to them, you're engaging. You have any events planned on the horizon?
That's good. Yeah. So exactly. So how would you engage this community? Because the philosophy of engaging the community, then you'd start to take strategies and like having events, like setting up, socials, because investing is also social.
Yes.
You get to be a part of something that you never had before. You get to learn. It's a reason to go get financially educated, right?
Yes.
Because now you're able to put your money to work. The better educated you are, the better you're able to do this, the better your returns will be. And so it's kind of, we're engaging people with, education, with events of different kinds. Eventually, we want to be able to invite famous investors, give talks. It's stuff that like the community. Like I say, they tell us what they want. So it's you just ask.
Yes.
You ask them and you say, hey, would you like these speakers to do a poll? And boom, they'll tell you. So it's like I say, guys, this is the internet. So the internet is a very, very powerful tool in the sense that it allows you to communicate with anyone, anywhere in the world.
Yes.
And so what fintech does is it combines finance with that. And that's it.
Yes.
I mean, make it sound easy, but it's not.
Indeed.
It takes a lot of moving parts, but
Right.
and we're, like I say, we're doing this because we're going to put this tool in the hands of the business people. We're the tool builders. We build the tool. We guard the rules. We're like the referee. But once you have the right referee and the right tool, the Lionel Messis of the world are going to pop up. The Lionel Messi, the Cristiano Ronaldos of the Bahamas are going to pop up, and they're going to say, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to run, and I'm going to score. I don't know how many goals this guy scored, like 500, 600 goals, something stupid.
Right.
The right business person
Yes.
in this community is going to take what we've built and is going to take it and go to the next level.
Exactly. I hope many actually do.
I hope so too. I
right.
think I've met a lot of really great business people in this town. Really
Right.
great, and what they've accomplished without the support is
Right.
amazing. So imagine if they had the support.
Right. And something when I think about the support, I think about the support of our entire capital market structure and system. And so tell me, what do you think about, I guess, a company that would have long-term expansion plans where this initial seed capital they'd be getting from the RX crowdfunding would just be that initial boost.
Yeah.
Right? It gets them from point A to point B, but not where they really want to be. Right? And so there's other financing avenues. Do you see you guys building some sort of bridge between your exchange and BISX for larger offerings that are perhaps uncapped? I believe some of your offerings might have caps and so on.
Well, I will say that this space is very, very, very new. The United States just increased their Reg A offerings in the middle of the pandemic. So Reg A is a little bit more corporate governance. You can raise more money. They've increased them to 75 mil.
Okay.
So there's precedent out there to actually do crowdfunding up to 75 mil.
So what's your current limit right now?
5 mil for this rule set.
Right.
And then we're actually working on bringing that Reg A into our markets. So people will go up to 75. Beyond that, you really need professional money. I'm not gonna lie, you just can't get that many people together to crowdfund.
Right.
Even in the big countries.
Right.
At that point, we'll say, hey, here's our friends at NASDAQ, here are our friends at the New York Stock Exchange, go at it. We'll happily hand you off because like I say, once you start looking for more than $75 million, you're looking for a lot of money.
Indeed.
You're not, it's not, like I say, funds are not going anywhere.
Right, right. Well, I saw the photo with you on the floor at the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes.
And, as we wrap up here, just tell us how did that feel?
It's amazing to, like, you're sitting there and you realize that in the last 5 seconds that you've been on this floor, more money has passed and changed hands than in the history of the country of the Bahamas has ever made. And so you're dealing with, there's no shortage of money out there, people.
Right.
But it needs companies, it needs a home to be put to work. Money doesn't move to inefficient places. In private money, private people's money moves to where they can have a reasonable chance at a return on investment. And so that is what it is about. If you're an entrepreneur looking for financing, you have to structure your company in a way so there's a reasonable chance when this guy puts his money in that he'll be able to take a return of investment out. And so, once you say, I'm going to do that, guess what happens? The money ain't never done.
Right.
And so that's the, I think the small pivot that we as a society have to make.
Yes.
Is that we have to add value. We have to find a way to add value to those investors by making sure that they see a return on their investment.
Yes.
And then we won't want for money anymore.
You're absolutely right. If we take on a mindset of abundance, right, and recognize that money is as ubiquitous as the ocean that surrounds us.
That's right.
Right?
And we got a lot of ocean around us.
Indeed, we do. And so we just have to learn how to cast our net. And I thank you and Arawak X for providing
a bucket or dig a pool.
Providing all the tools we need to get started in business. So thank you so much for sharing with our followership. And we thank Arawak X as well for sponsoring the show today, along with Azure Digital.
Go to arawakx.com and take 7 minutes to sign up. 2022, 2023 are going to be huge years for us. So we are really excited. We're here to make a meaningful difference and help expand the pie. And we're here to help work with our partners in government, our partners at the regulators, our partners in the business community, and of course the investment community, and help coordinate some of this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.